Stop overfeeding your soil. The dilution secret every gardener gets wrong. Most gardeners focus on what amendments to add: compost, worm castings, liquid feeds, minerals, biostimulants, but seasoned soil builders know the real magic lies in how much and how strong. Dilution is one of the most misunderstood and most powerful skills in gardening. Get it right, and your soil becomes resilient, biologically active, and forgiving. Get it wrong, and even organic inputs can burn roots, stall microbes, or lock nutrients out of reach. Here at Soilpower, we're not chasing quick fixes, we're building living systems. This article dives deep into the science and intuition behind diluting soil amendments, when it's essential, when it's optional, and how to do it properly so your soil works with you, not against you. Soil is alive, and living systems hate shock. The first thing to understand is that soil isn't a bucket you fill with nutrients. It's a living, breathing ecosystem made up of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, arthropods, roots, and organic matter. Every amendment you add sends a signal through that system. Highly concentrated inputs, whether liquid feeds, mineral salts, compost teas, or extracts, can overwhelm soil life if applied too strong. Microbes don't like sudden spikes. Roots don't either. In nature, nutrients arrive slowly. Rain leaches minerals, leaves decompose gradually, animal waste is diluted by time and biology. Dilution mimics nature. It allows nutrients and bioactive compounds to enter the soil gently, giving microbes time to process them and plants time to respond. This is why weaker, more frequent applications almost always outperform heavy, concentrated ones in the long run. When dilution is non-negotiable, some soil amendments absolutely must be diluted if you want consistent results. Liquid fertilizers, especially fish emulsion, seaweed extract, fermented plant juices, and compost teas, are prime examples. These products are often biologically active and nutrient-dense. Undiluted or over-strength applications can scorch root tips, suppress beneficial fungi, or create temporary nutrient imbalances. Microbial inoculants also demand dilution. Beneficial microbes don't compete well when dumped into hostile, salty, or nutrient-saturated environments. Diluting inoculants ensures even distribution through the soil profile and improves colonization. Think of it like introducing fish into a pond. You wouldn't dump them all into one corner. Young plants, seedlings, transplants, and stressed crops are especially sensitive. At these stages, dilution isn't just safer, it's smarter. A mild solution stimulates root growth and microbial partnerships without forcing rapid top growth that the plant can't sustain. When stronger isn't better, even for organic inputs, one of the biggest myths in organic gardening is that you can't overdo natural amendments. You absolutely can. Undiluted liquid feeds can create osmotic stress, pulling water out of plant cells. Over-applied compost extracts can trigger explosive bacterial growth that temporarily ties up nitrogen. Too much soluble potassium can block calcium and magnesium uptake. Even compost teas, often seen as harmless, can become problematic when brewed too strong or applied too frequently without dilution. Soil biology thrives on balance, not abundance. Dilution keeps that balance intact. Experienced gardeners learn to read plant responses. Dark green, overly lush growth with weak stems is often a sign of excess, not success. Dilution slows things down just enough for plants to build strength instead of dependency. Amendments that thrive on dilution. Yeah, that's a key concept in organic gardening. Liquid seaweed is a perfect example of an amendment that really shines when diluted. Its power isn't in macronutrients but in hormones, enzymes, and trace elements. If you use it strong, it's honestly just wasteful. But when you use it diluted, it becomes this incredible signaling tool that enhances root growth, stress tolerance, and microbial activity. Worm casting tea works the same way. You're not feeding plants directly, you're feeding the soil food web. A lighter dilution spreads microbes more evenly and helps you avoid anaerobic pockets or nutrient overload. And hey, fermented inputs like compost extracts, plant ferments, and microbial teas. They benefit immensely from dilution because it maintains oxygen levels, prevents microbial crashes, and improves both leaf and soil coverage. Solid amendments. Dilution by distribution is the name of the game here. Not all dilution happens in water. Solid amendments like compost, worm castings, biochar, rock dusts, and manures are diluted through distribution and, honestly, through time. Mixing a small amount thoroughly through soil is far more effective than just layering or dumping it in one spot. Take biochar, for example. It should never be applied raw and concentrated. It needs dilution through composting, soaking, or blending with organic matter before it enters the soil. This prevents nutrient lockup and really allows biochar to act as a microbial habitat instead of a nutrient sponge. Mineral amendments also benefit from restraint. Trace minerals work best when applied lightly and evenly, letting soil biology mobilize them gradually. Heavy doses don't speed results, they actually slow biology down. So, how do you actually dilute properly, without just guessing? Well, the best dilution strategy honestly starts with observation, not just reading labels. You see, manufacturer recommendations are often designed for speed, not for long-term soil health. A good rule of thumb is to start at half the recommended strength, especially for liquid inputs, and then just observe how your plants respond over, say, 7 to 14 days. And, frequency actually matters more than strength. A mild solution, applied regularly, helps build resilience in your plants, while strong, infrequent doses can actually create dependency. This is especially true if you're working with living soils, no-dig beds, or biologically active raised beds. Water quality is another factor you really shouldn't overlook. Chlorinated water, high salt water, or very hard water can pretty much negate the benefits of dilution by putting stress on those beneficial microbes. If you can, use rainwater, or at least let your tap water sit out before mixing in amendments. Temperature also plays a big role. Cold soils process nutrients slowly, so in cool conditions, your dilution should be even lighter to avoid nutrient buildup. On the other hand, warm, active soils can handle inputs that are just a bit richer, but honestly, they still benefit from moderation. Reading the soil, not just the plant, is what really sets advanced gardeners apart. They don't just look at the leaves, they actually read what the soil is telling them. Earthworm activity, visible fungal strands, crumbly structure, and even the smell all give you clues about whether your dilution strategy is working. Healthy soil should smell earthy, not sour. It should absorb water evenly, instead of repelling it. If the soil biology is thriving, those diluted inputs will disappear quickly into the system. But if amendments linger, pool on the surface, or cause any odd odors, that's a clear sign you're overloading things. Dilution then becomes your corrective tool, helping you restore balance without stripping nutrients or disturbing the roots. Here's the long game. Dilution actually builds soil independence. The ultimate goal of soil amendment dilution is for your soil to eventually take care of itself. When the biology in your soil is strong, your plants just don't need as many inputs. Dilution helps support this transition by encouraging microbes to do the heavy lifting, mineralizing nutrients, protecting roots, and buffering against stress. Over time, you'll notice that using diluted amendments leads to stronger root systems, better drought tolerance, and, honestly, fewer pest issues. Plants grown this way don't just grow fast, they grow resilient. That's the Soilpower mindset in action. We're not just feeding plants, we're training soil. So, just to wrap things up, less really is smarter when it comes to soil amendments. Dilution isn't about being overly cautious, it's about being precise. It's about respecting soil as a living system and working with its natural rhythms instead of trying to overpower them. Whether you're just starting out with your first compost tea or you're an experienced gardener fine-tuning a mature bed, dilution is honestly the skill that separates short-term growth from long-term abundance. If this article helped you see soil amendments in a new light, make sure to subscribe to Soilpower on YouTube, share this guide with a fellow gardener, and keep building soil that works harder for you every single season. Strong soil grows strong food, and it all starts with understanding when less truly does more.